Hello there, how's it going gamers? My name is Rushcode, and in today's video, we'll be taking a final look at the Minecraft inventory system I made, diving into how we collect these collectibles. So let's say if I were to drop some of these items on the ground, as I walk up to them you can see that they start to just fly up to my character and they actually go back into my inventory somewhere. I think it's over here, 22. So that number will start to tick over as I collect a few more, 27. And 32, there we go. So the way this works is we have a collection system down here, which is triggered by my character overlapping with the components. So if I go to my character's blueprint, over here as it overlaps, it will check to see if it's a collectible and then fire off the inventory and go to its custom event for preparing for collection. But in order to overlap in the first place, the character must be able to detect the collectible somehow. Thing is, I've set the cube to have no collision with anything because I don't want my character to step on it by accident, but it needs to detect the object somehow, so a trigger box is introduced into this situation to create collision, but without physical collision. So upon detection, it will do a prepare for collection, and the first thing it wants to do is check to see if the collectible is stackable. If it's not, then it just finds an empty box and dumps it in there. If it is stackable, then it needs to loop through every box in the inventory to see which ones it can stack with. So this looks a bit messy, but basically what happens is the collectibles item type is compared against the inventory's item types until it finds a match type and then checks to see if it has any space in it as well, and if it does, then it says that we have found a stack, comes out of the loop and goes on to collect the item by stacking. If however we could not find any stack in there that works, then it'll just have to go and find some empty box. This will usually happen with things like the swords because the sword item is not made to be stackable. So over here, if we're collecting the item by stacking, then we would do an animation and simply increment the amount by 1 for the stack in the inventory. If we were to dump it into an empty box instead, first we'd have to make sure that there is space. So if the inventory is not full, we then do the collectible animation thing, moving it to the player, and then updating the said empty box with all the information of the collectible. And after that, we would just need to check and see where there might be the next empty box in the inventory, which is just a matter of looping through every single box until you find the first new empty box. As for animating the item to move towards the player, it's a little bit complicated to try and explain, but basically you would save the original location of the item before doing any animations, making sure to disable any collision from this point on, and then it uses a simple straight line function, which I've actually turned into a bit of a curve because I wanted to speed up the positioning as it comes closer to the character. So this dot up here at the start is representing the furthest distance from the character, and this dot down here represents the object being at the character's position. So over time it will slowly make its way to the character, and that information is used to update it physically for where the collectible would be based on the character's position. The reason I have to subtract between them is because I want the direction that is between the character and the object. From there I just add it back onto it and it will give the new location. When that's done, it'll destroy the collectible, but while this is all happening, the inventory will be grabbing the information here, or if I'm just dumping it into an empty box, it'll grab the information over here while these collectible animations are working its way through the timeline. It was quite tricky to figure out where to put this particular node, just because while the timeline is running, code execution will continue, which is quite annoying in some cases, but here it worked out pretty well putting the node in the middle here. If I put the node after, then it gets a bit confusing and mucky with how the final result looks. And this is what the end result looks like. If you just say I dropped some stuff here, dropped a couple of swords here, dropped more items here, dropped a lot more items, and then I just ran around, it'll actually start to collect everything. It's a really cool animation. So there you have it, the Minecraft inventory system, a very basic form of it, but nonetheless still kind of fun to play with. Normally I would provide a download link for this sort of game or package, but seeing that you guys can get the real deal using Minecraft, you may as well just go there instead. But I hope this video was fun to watch. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a lovely day. Thanks for watching guys, and if you liked it, smash like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Rushcode out!